Hey friend, welcome. In the last episode, we talked about the thought model and taking every thought captive. And today I want to take a deeper dive into what to do when life's circumstances are so chaotic that it's really hard for us to even realize what we're thinking, let alone take our thoughts captive. Welcome to another episode of Her Unraveled Life. I'm your host, Amy Wadlington. I'm a certified holistic life and health coach, author, and mom. I help exhausted Christian women reclaim their vitality in simple, doable ways. Today we're diving deeper into the thought model, and I'm going to go through 10 really easy steps to regulating your nervous system when life is chaotic. So make yourself comfortable, grab yourself a cozy drink, maybe a pen and some paper, and let's dive in. Everything that we do to feel a certain way. Most of the time, we want to feel good, or at least better than what we're feeling. But when our thoughts are hung up on our circumstances, or we're in a cycle of repeating limiting beliefs or even lies to ourselves, until we take those thoughts captive, we can feel really stuck. But sometimes our circumstances are so chaotic that it feels nearly impossible to change the circumstances or take captive our thoughts. So I want to go over the thought model again today and lean into more about what to do when our circumstances feel completely out of our control. So reviewing the thought model, we have circumstances that lead to thoughts, and our thoughts create our feelings lead to actions, and our actions create our results. So our circumstances are facts. They cannot be changed. The weather, it's 57 degrees outside today. That is a fact. That's a circumstance. Now, what I think about that may vary depending on the time of year. This time of year, in the middle of March, I'm thinking it's a beautiful, sunshiny, warm day, and I am really enjoying the warm weather. But if it's 57 degrees in the middle of July, I might be thinking, why is it so cold outside? I am going to bundle up and stay inside all day today. So our thoughts around circumstances may change depending on other circumstances that may be happening, but they are factual. They cannot be changed. And we only have control over our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, and our results. We have no control over our circumstances. Now, sometimes we can attempt to change our circumstances, but we want to make sure that we can tackle our thoughts, take our thoughts captive, really dive deep into what our beliefs are around those, because if we believe we're victims to our circumstances, our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions will reflect those beliefs. Our belief may be Jesus is in control and he's powerful. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Or we might believe that nothing good ever happens to me. If so-and-so weren't so selfish, I wouldn't be feeling this way. Doesn't matter necessarily what the circumstances is. It's the thoughts that we have around those circumstances. So what do we do when life's circumstances are totally insane, totally chaotic, and we can't think straight enough to take our thoughts captive, and we're not even sure what we're thinking half the time, or we are just being flared around by the circumstances of life? I'm speaking from experience because I've been there, where I feel like I even had a vision at one time where I was standing on a rock and waves were coming at me. And it was like the circumstances of life were coming at me, and they were hard and they were knocking me over, and I would get up again and I had resilience. But every single time they would hit me, I would be more and more and more exhausted. And that is exactly how I've felt many times in my life, where the circumstances of life just keep hitting us. And at some point, we get to the point where we're too tired to stand. So what we want to do is learn how to take our thoughts captive, as we talked about in the last episode. But sometimes before we can do that, we have to learn how to regulate our nervous system, because we can't think straight enough to take our thoughts captive sometimes, or we're not even sure what we're thinking. We just know that we're feeling rage or frustration or anger or overwhelm. I know that a lot of people realize that babies can get overwhelmed they're overstimulated, if there is music playing and kids playing next to them, or if they're tired and they're under one of those spinny things, they start crying, and it's like, hey, that was supposed to be calming to you, but it wasn't. And so we say they're overstimulated. Moms can get overstimulated too. I just want you to really let that soak in for a minute. Think about what you're feeling when I say that moms can get overstimulated too, because it's not just our babies, it's us as well. And our older kids, our teenagers, our spouses, our boss, our friends. Sometimes when they are acting a certain way, we can't control the way that they're acting, and we can't change how they're reacting to what they're feeling because we have no idea what their thoughts are. But we can regulate our nervous system so that we're not feeling so overwhelmed and we're not overstimulated by our circumstances. Once we get our nervous system calm, then we can look at it in a better way and say, okay, what was I feeling in that moment? I was feeling rage. Okay, why was I feeling rage? Well, because so-and-so made me really angry. Okay, what was the thought behind it? Why did that person make me angry? What was the trigger? What is the belief behind it? And you really want to get curious about your thoughts. But until your nervous system is regulated, you can't get to that point. I've tried, believe me, I know. And you want to have a plan. So what we're talking about here today, I want you to think about some of these as I go through them. There's 10 really simple steps to regulating your nervous system. And as I go through them, I want you to keep 1 or 2 or 3 in mind of, I could do that when my such and such circumstance that you face on a regular basis happens. Or next time my teenager does such and such, then I can do this. So I want you to have a plan, and I want you to write down 1 to 3 of these that feels really doable, even in crazy, chaotic circumstances. And so I want you to make this your go-to list, but I don't want you to think that you have to do all 10 of them. Just picking 1, 2, or 3 of them is really going to help you regulate your nervous system when life is feeling overwhelming. Number 1 is going for a walk. Going for a walk can increase your serotonin levels, and it increases and enhances your mood, and it helps calm you down. Now, of course, there's other benefits to walking, but in this moment, we're talking about regulating your nervous system. So even going for a 10-minute walk is going to help increase those serotonin levels and help calm you down. And then number 2 is write down 1 to 3 things that you're thankful for in that moment. When you can get your mind out of the circumstance that you're facing and into a present moment, this is what I'm thankful for. And even if it's, I didn't explode, that's okay. You can be thankful for that. But what it does is it boosts your dopamine level, and it is basically your reward hormone. And that makes you feel more positive and satisfied. Now, a lot of us really try to increase our dopamine in artificial ways by scrolling through social media. And it's almost like a drug addict who's trying to get their first high, that you do raise your dopamine levels scrolling through social media or eating a bag of Doritos or eating an ice cream sandwich the very first time that you do it because it's enjoyable. But then it doesn't happen anymore. And we keep going to it, trying to increase our dopamine levels, but it's not satisfying us. So you want to find something that is satisfying, and gratitude is something that will always be satisfying, that we can think of 1 to 3 things that we're really thankful for. And that's going to help boost that dopamine level. And it's a real reward. It's a real feeling that will increase that reward system and help you feel more positive and more satisfied. Okay, and then number 3 is calling a loved one, because what that does is it actually releases your love hormone, or oxytocin. That hormone actually reduces stress, and it promotes feelings of trust and bonding. Another way to release the love hormone is giving somebody a hug, not just a quick one-arm hug. I call it the church hug that everybody gives around one arm, but you want to give a real hug. Try to count to 60 and tell the person you're doing it because they might think that you're never going to let go. That's going to release that love hormone, and that is going to help reduce stress, and it promotes those feelings of trust, and it helps you bond. Calling a loved one and just telling them that you're thankful for them and that you're happy that they're in your life is going to make both of you feel better. And then number 4 is cleaning or decluttering for 15 minutes. I know that that is not my favorite thing to do, but it actually works. And it can lower your cortisol levels, which decreases stress and also provides a sense of control and accomplishment. So just going through the mail pile that's on the kitchen counter, or go into one of your drawers, like your junk drawer. We all have one. Go through the junk drawer and organize it. Go into your closet and put your clothes in color order, or go through and get rid of 5 things that you don't wear anymore. Just cleaning and decluttering for 15 minutes can really make a huge impact and lower your cortisol levels. Number 5 is playing with a pet. That's one of my favorite things to do. And it actually elevates levels of serotonin and dopamine, which can foster relaxation and joy. Number 6 is dancing. Dancing not only decreases stress hormones, but it also increases endorphins, the body's natural painkiller and a mood elevator. So we want to do lots of dancing. Find your favorite playlist now, or when this podcast is over, go through and find your favorite playlist, or go on to your favorite social media platform and say, what is a song that uplifts you? And have your friends help you create a playlist that will bring you joy, and then dance next time things are feeling stressful, and blast that music loud or play it quietly, whatever you prefer. I like loud music, but that is going to help reduce your stress and increase your endorphins as well. And then number 7 is eat something healthy and nourishing. What that does is it affects your gut health, which is directly linked to mood regulation, thanks to the gut-brain axis. So when you eat something nourishing, instead of going to that junk food that we typically will turn to, it's actually going to do something immediately in your gut and help you calm down and help regulate your mood. So eating an apple with some peanut butter or some avocado toast or a little salad is actually very helpful. Number 8 is completing a task, and that's going to give you a sense of achievement. It's going to trigger your dopamine release, which motivates you and will make you feel rewarded at the same time. What I like to do is have a list, an ongoing list of things that I would like to get done, but don't necessarily have to get done. And then I'll go to that list and just complete something that's on it when I'm really stressed or when I have extra time, which is pretty rare, but sometimes I have a little bit of extra time. And then number 9 is watching a funny movie. What that does is it stimulates your laughter, and that releases endorphins as well, and it helps reduce your stress response. Your body doesn't know the difference between a funny movie and fun that you're having in life, or a stressful, scary movie and being terrified in real life or for the movie. So nothing stressful. I just want to emphasize that you don't want to watch anything stressful when your cortisol levels are already high and you're already in a stressful moment, because it's just going to increase the cortisol levels even more in your body and make things worse. So you want to watch something funny, or if you have a friend that makes you laugh, you could call that friend and say, I really need to laugh. Tell me something funny. We all have one of those friends, or at least we should. And then number 10 is get some sunshine, and that's going to help boost your vitamin D. Hopefully you can do this at the same time that you're going out for a 10-minute walk, but the vitamin D level is going to help play a significant role in your mood regulation. It can lower levels of depression and anxiety. And if you get sunshine without sunglasses, when you're not wearing sunglasses, if you can do that in the morning, it actually increases your melatonin levels, and it's going to help you sleep better at night, which also reduces your stress hormone cortisol. Getting some sunshine, some vitamin D, getting it first thing in the morning when possible is really going to help with regulating your mood. It's also going to help you sleep better at night as well. I hope that these tips feel doable to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I thank you so much for tuning in to Her Unraveled Life. If you found value in today's episode, please leave me a review and share this video or this podcast with friends who might also benefit from it. And before you go, I just want to let you know I do have a free gift for you. It's a download to help you get more detailed information on weight loss resistance. This is brand new. It's something that I just created, and it's packed with tips to know what to look for, what tests you can take, and how to overcome anything that may be coming against you that's holding you back from losing weight. So if that is something that you struggle with, please see the show notes. I will put the link in the show notes, and feel free to reach out to me anytime. I would love to get feedback from you on what you want to hear from this podcast, because right now I'm just starting out and I really want to be sure that I am giving you everything that you need. Once you get this free download, it's also going to get you added to my email list, where I share lots of tips and inspiration and any upcoming events. So get your copy now in the show notes, and remember that your health and your faith all starts with a single step. Until next time, friend, thanks so much for listening.